Separated from those in the whole world I love so much and love me. Crazy, crazy. I'm happy. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I got a feeling deep inside they all like to be just like me. Crazy, 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 crazy. Good morning, my dear. I love you so much. I never stop thinking about it. Every day. I love you. Listen, I'm just trying to find a little affection, that's all. Very sophisticated. What do we talk about? This level of sophistication. Well, we talk about parental alienation, the rights of children and families, and those who are funded to break up family. Please listen. In any other psychological pathogen I've ever worked with. And it's not only sophisticated, it's extremely malignant and vicious. It has 3 levels of defensive structures. The first and primary level is to remain hidden. It has 2 ways it remains hidden. First, it hides behind the child. And then it projects the focus of attention over onto you, the targeted parent.
It's like the Wizard of Oz. Don't look behind the curtain. Secrecy is how this thrives. Truth is how we stop this pathogen. So take it a step further. Yes, the pathogen hides behind the child, and the pathogen convinces the child it's all their decision.
If, however, someone is able to penetrate the veil of concealment that hides the pathogen and actually sees the pathogen, this then represents a pathogen's ability to enact pathology. Pathogen must enact pathology.
I've said it before, but I will say it again. As a child who's been manipulated to reject a parent, and you are the one who's hiding the pathogen without even knowing it, you think you're making the right decision. You think you're doing the right thing. And there's a proverbial knife being held at your back the whole time.
And the mother's supported to abuse the child. This pathogen is, if you've not worked it out, the pathogen is a narcissistic parent abusing the child and teaching the children to hate half of who they are. Hate daddy, hate mummy, hate that other parent. And Poland supports this, and Scotland and the UK, America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand supports this level of child abuse. The only way forward is 50-50 parenting, and Poland must pay for this abuse.
Step by step to the point from which there is no return. Never again will you be capable of love or friendship, or joy of life, or laughter, or courage, or curiosity, or integrity. We will squeeze you empty, and then we will fill you with ourselves, with love of Big Brother. Now, before we begin your tour, are there any questions you would like to ask?
Want some cleaning done there? MG Cleaning Services. Come and clean your home. So what rules must you follow within this environment? Who are the gatekeepers? Because you do have rules.
And discourages individual pride or ambition. The laws reflect a social ethos that prioritizes the group over the individual. individual, often summarized as a mindset to prevent people from thinking they are better than others. Here come the laws. 1, you're not to think you are anything special. 2, you're not to think you are as good as we are.
And believe me, you are special. You're capable of almost anything. Our children are grown up and brought up in fear for this very purpose.
3, you're not to think you are smarter than we are. 4, you are not to imagine yourself better than we are. 5, you're not to think you know more than we do. 6, you are not to think you are more important than we are. 7, you're not to think you are good at anything. 8, you're not to laugh at us. 9, you're not to think anyone cares about you. 10, you're not to think you can teach us anything. Well, goddamn. So before I read each one of these, react with real, actual nut jobs in the world, let's read the rest of this. Additionally, an unspoken 11th law is sometimes referenced. You're not to think you can break free from us.
Good morning. And that message goes to every town in the UK, possibly the Western world. Set up in our hometown is obviously the police and the drug dealers are quite similar size. The criminals and the police are run by the same head of department. Now, in my own family, there was a brother, and you might notice I use the term brother quite loosely. You might think I've got about 5,000, and maybe I act as if I do. Because although I know there's a huge difference between you and I, and the people we are and how we think, which I'll never understand about you, I'll never understand how you think. I'll not empathise. I might accidentally use the word mistakenly because I'm a bit of an airhead, but I'll never feel how you feel because I've got no idea how you feel in any given circumstance. And I do think it's different because the predators do walk amongst us, and predators can be the people you've loved and cared for your whole life, brothers you played football with, maybe brothers in your family. But you start to see in your hometown, they get little handouts. Good morning to all. No, I can't be really reading the conversations, you don't have to be doing that. But generally we will get 1 or 2 messages. Now I have to apologise for the bad signal. 5G is not actually a real thing. And we should consider what these 5G antennas are actually for and what they're utilised for. Is it to help those little princesses that drive about with fancy dress on and high vis gear? Because they're never going to do anything about the degradation of society, or the criminality in society, or the drug dealing in society. Now we should separate some drugs because the biggest drug dealer and murderer would be, first of all, our doctors. And having a relationship with some of my doctors over the last few years, you know, some of these guys are right nice men and fathers. Well, my doctor at the moment, a young guy, smart. I guess he would be smart being a doctor, but most aren't. And that's what you find out if you start your own attempt at learning or reading or understanding what's going on. Doesn't matter what you think, you know. There's an undercurrent, an underbelly, something behind the veil, which runs all of this. And children are the ones suffering. Now, my own family members have been allowed to deal drugs in this town. I don't mean he got a degree and an embossed piece of paper to say he had a doctorate. He didn't have anything. He was selling different kinds of drugs in the 90s. As every one of your towns in the UK, Europe and the US, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, all of these countries, all the Western countries, were set up the same way, to be brought down in the same manner. The people in your town and in your family get little payoffs by these predators, and it's heartbreaking when you see these little occultists, brothers, willingly destroying their own family, their own community, so they can have a little bit more. And then you notice that the way they speak to people is quite demonic. Like those left-wing people laughing at Charlie Kirk, or calling him a right-wing agitator. Just sickness. Now, I have no idea what's happened to any of these assassinations, if they've been real or faked, or what level of I don't know. As I say, it's like the hand is quicker than the eye. And we don't really see what's going on. But if you slow down and take your time and look at the undercurrent and the way it's all run, it's set up the very same. And now all those little Freemasonic, easily bought lowlives from your family, your brotherhood, the people that sell you out, the vast majority are women joining. And they always let you know in their symbolism, always. This walk is so nice today. Thanks for all the likes and comments and everything else in the comment section. So why are we here?
I've never encountered this level of sophistication in any other psychological pathogen I've ever worked with. And it's not only sophisticated, it's extremely malignant and vicious. It has 3 levels of defensive structures. The first and primary...
If you're boiling your backside to be on here, press that like button and press subscribe.
It remains hidden. First, it hides behind the child, and then it projects the focus of attention over onto you, the target.
My children were abused by their mother in something called a babcha. Now, this was always, it looked like a lovely word and a lovely idea what that person might be, but I found it out to be a fat, child-abusing Polish woman. That's what babcha meant. Fat, ignorant, vicious, child-abusing, lying beast of a feminist. That's what the word babcha in Polish means. A child-abusing feminist rat. I do encourage you to press that like button and press subscribe. Yes, I have had exponential growth in the channel in the last week. Huge! Now there's now over 330 and I'm taking you to the Freemasons building and there's over 330. And Charlie Kirk's murderer was found in 33 hours, thank God for that. And all those poor actors that died on the 2nd of August, the 5th of August and the 8th of August. Actors and young talented photographers and editors and TV producers, 3 of them died, 2nd, the 5th and the 8th, all aged 33, and the space between those numbers is what? It's the space between 2 and 5 and 5 and 8. Anyway, never mind. You've got people running you in this town. Hello, sir. Even the big men here. You can't make eye contact and they walk the other way. What's going on? You think you're men, what's going on? I want you to be pressing the like button to subscribe. We'll make it to 400 subscribers. Not that we'll bring the channel into from oblivion into anything worthwhile. But yesterday, I was speaking to a man that's got a few YouTube subscription channels like Shadow Surrender and the English Refugee. The guy's called Tom. And what a difficult life things have been for him because he speaks his mind. You're not allowed to speak your mind. You can't have opinions here, and if you do, you'll be broke down for them. You'll be shot down for them if they don't go with the opinions of your slave masters. And for all you little brothers that have decided to move into drug dealing to kill off the locals around your town, they're going to use you. As many of you I know and love, because my own family, my own brother was used in this very same way to poison my local town. If you think Simply Lovely, you need to be hitting the like, hitting the subscribe button. Let's bring this past 400. 400? I don't have any, like 4 people that like me, but now 400. I really can't tell the difference. Is this Irish or Scottish? I've got no idea. My mum told me it was Scottish. I get told a date of birth, I get given a name, and I get rolled out the hospital. So I've always believed that I am Scottish with Irish heritage and family. I'm English grandfather, I'm sure, from the dad's side, from down in Cornwall, but who knows? Who knows? Freemasons that kind of sold the family out. Like the brothers we have in this town, it would sell their family out because of, well, we know the Freemasons is just a conspiracy theory. These guys don't exist. I mean, they don't exist. They don't operate in every single town. They don't operate as the oldest business in every single town, surely. When everything else is shut down through decades and centuries, they wouldn't just remain open, would they? They couldn't. Well, I don't think so anyway. I don't think there would be any Jewish brothers setting up Freemasonry in the UK so you can put down your little rules and have little lapdogs abusing you in your town, which means the police are no longer the police, drug dealers are no longer drug dealers, family is no longer family. Cornerstone. "29 people on and dropping. Why are you bothered watching this? It's wet, it's a nice day for me. I have to go and see a bloke about a car. This won't shut down the Union and Crown. Every town in the UK, every single one, has their masters setting the rules and has funny wee effeminate men joining in with this nonsense.
Like the Wizard of Oz, don't look behind the curtain. Secrecy is how this thrives. Truth is how we stop this pathogen. So Take it a step further, yes, the pathogen hides behind the child, and the pathogen convinces the child it's all their decision.
If, however, someone is
This is
able
a
to
pathogen
penetrate the veil of concealment
who
of the
abuses
pathogen
children.
and actually
I've
sees
just shown
the
you
pathogen,
a whole club of
this then
pathogens that
represents
abuse children.
pathogen's ability to enact pathology. Pathogen must
And the Catholic Church is the opposite end of the
I've
town.
said it before, but I will say it again.
And
This child who's been
I wonder if we've got
manipulated
underground
and
tunnels.
you are
I wonder if there's
the one
underground
that's
tunnels.
hiding the
Who would use
pathogen without even
underground
knowing it.
tunnels?
You think you're making the right decision. You think you're doing the right thing. And there's a proverbial knife being held at your back the whole time.
And the mother's supported to abuse the child.
This pathogen is
If you've not worked it out, the pathogen is a narcissistic parent abusing the child.
And that's only in this instance. I've always loved this building here. I've always wanted to own this. Instead I went and bought a house in Neilston. Now I didn't join Freemasons after being asked. I was part of the Catholic cult growing up, but I knew on my own to walk away from these predators. Once these people join these institutions, they'll never talk to you the same way. You're never the same person to them because they're controlled. And their little drunken, drug-addled minds don't really care about friends or family because the perverse nature they've bought into becomes the ones that control what they get to say and do. You've already been told your rules. This was an American guy, Casey. It's the Zionist rules. Talk amongst yourselves, or I'll just turn it off. You can let me know if I'm my bestie. Just turn this off just now. I'm not really paying attention, but some of you might be watching. This is for my dad. Enjoy. Sorry just to butt in there, an amazing song. In fact, my dad's about to mention my name right here. Bye bye Joseph, every day. My dad got to say goodbye to me in that song. I really do hear his voice. He was a great singer as a young man, but having a young family and a mother that he loved, family came first. But that's all that comes first. My dad had a heart, so he got killed at 64 by the people running our town, the Freemasons. We can always do all the fake oh hey, Freemason, I'm shaking your Freemasonic hand. There's the gospel hall. When I was young I used to hear some fantastic hymns and singing coming out of here. That's all I remember about this building. Protestant singing pretty good songs. But sing Hosanna as a Catholic was also amazing. I love to sing hymns in church buildings. That's the buildings, not the people, sorry. But I do love to sing the songs. Yeah, I appreciate you coming along. Obviously you've not really enjoyed this much. Matthew and Ava, Daddy misses you so much. I know Poland is always going to be watching, the scumbags that protect paedophiles through the churches. In Scotland, the low-life Jesuits and those Freemasonic devils that get funded to get drunk, funded to break up family, funded to allow 100 wee guys in your neighbourhood to sell every kind of drug. Now some states in America and some states have separated these things, because right now they're weaponising the most common drug, which is, I don't know, cocaine. The second most common drug they're weaponising that, which is weaponising weed. It's gone from like 15 to 20% THC and it just keeps climbing. So I would really recommend you slow down or stop that smoking, or get on top of that. Make sure there's at least 3 or 4 days a week you're not going near it. I would fully recommend you stop drinking alcohol. Alcohol is the biggest family killer, and they'll constantly push alcohol. They'll push it with from kids that are just about to break into the music industry to 14-year-olds that they want to rape in every single town. This is what these paedophiles are doing. They're joining these religions that allow child rape and child sacrifice to be normalised, and then the Catholic Church are going to use that and try and adopt it through Christianity, and then the Abrahamic religion, or whatever that's called, we're going to have to sort of bow down to. Then you can't then say that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Saviour. And it seems like every single messed up person in this town is just trying to get you to stop talking about Jesus. Everything in TV, you just can't mention the name Jesus Christ. You can't mention his teachings, his lifestyle, because he didn't rape kids. But in Judaism, they kind of top that up. It's a normal thing to do. It's a normal thing to do. It's a disgusting thing if you're reading the details on this. It's disgusting to read into this. Nah, I don't want to start a poll. People in the comments, you can write what you like about this stuff. There's Zionists raping and abusing children. The people in your governments and the MPs in your local councils, everyone doing this, they're all tainted, they're all bought off. None of them can speak their own mind, and if they do speak their own mind, they'll get blown to pieces. Yeah, not many people liking, subscribing, that's what we like. But there will be more people watching tomorrow. If I come on and do this, there'll be more security services. There'll be more Freemasons on here, more of you Catholic nutcases on here. And it's the female of our species is more deadlier than the male. Easier to be bought off. Happy to kill their own children. Child abusing liars. Parasitic little effeminate men are doing the same in these buildings I'm showing you. That doesn't mean that all the men who have been forced to join these stupid fraternities, doesn't mean they're not all, they're all bad. I've got mates in there. Why have they not left? I've no idea why they've not left. Because they'll probably be gone soon. Damn. Goodbye. It's been a nice wee morning talking to you. It's going to be Ava and stuff crazy singing to you. There you go.
If you think I'm this,
Aye, maybe crazy, maybe I am.
separated from those the whole world I love so much and love me.
Crazy, crazy.
I'm Hannah being crazy.
Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I've got a feeling deep inside they don't like to be just like me.
I wonder if you actually seen any of this today. I really do apologise how bad the signal, and we know 5G isn't real. It's going to be used to murder most of you.
I love you so much.
It's not going to be used for anything you think. And it's not you on this very day. I love you, Ira. Love you, Matthew. Babcia, mother of my children. Poland. I love you too. I've got so many mates there. In fact, I think that's where my real friends are. And I'm not allowed to go and see them. Maybe they've been bought off like most of you have. But as soon as we get through here, hopefully, that's the end for me. please be the end for me.